Joshua Smith here, and welcome to the GSD Mode podcast. Now get shit done and smash that subscribe button now. What is up, my peeps? Joshua Smith here with another GSD Mode podcast interview. Every single week, I interview top real estate professionals and top entrepreneurs that are out there dominating their space. These are people choosing to not live a life of mediocrity, but instead to go out there and create big, amazing, epic lives for themselves, for their families, as well as have a big impact on others. And today, you guys got another amazing guest on the show. This is actually the second time that we've had the guest on the show. And this guest is also, over the years, has become a good personal friend of mine, Grant Wise. And in my opinion, Grant is the most brilliant dude in the real estate industry when it comes to how to crush it with Facebook, how to go out there and create successful Facebook ads, Instagram ads, how to increase your conversion ratios. I've yet to meet somebody that has his expertise, and he's the most brilliant dude that I know in the real estate business when it comes to everything and anything Facebook marketing. In today's podcast, you guys, he breaks down what is working today. Look, the reality is Facebook and Instagram paid ads have changed so much over the last 5-6 years, really so much in the last 12 months. It's becoming more saturated. However, even though it's more saturated, it's more effective than it's ever been before if you know what to do, if you know how to go out there and remarket and retarget effectively. So Grant breaks this down. What's working today? How to go out there and get 150% increase in your lead conversion by using Facebook and Instagram marketing, and so much more. Now, real quick, before we jump into this interview, if you haven't already, make sure to go snag my new book, Dominate Your Real Estate Business, Top Tips from a Top Producer. These are top tips, strategies, methods that I've learned over my 15 plus year long career that have allowed me to go out there and become one of the top realtors and team leaders on the planet. It's 100% free, nothing being sold, no fluff. I get right to the point. These are just 40 plus top tips and strategies, everything from scripts and objection handlers to systems and lead generation, time management tips, goal setting tips, business planning tips, you name it, it's covered in this book. And again, you guys, nothing's being sold. There's no cost to this. It's a digital copy that will be in your email box within 60 seconds. So go snag your free copy today at joshuasmithfreebook.com. Again, joshuasmithfreebook.com. All right, let's jump on into this amazing podcast interview with my man, Grant Wise. All right, Grant was my brother. Welcome back to the Mode Podcast, my friend.
My man, thank you so much for having me. It was, I think I was on the podcast a couple of years ago. It's an honor to be back, 1,000%.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked to have you back, dude. I mean, you and I talk quite a bit, man, you're just a dude that continues to impress the hell out of me, and you're always doing so many amazing things and bringing so much to an industry that's changed both of our lives, right? And everybody that's watching this and listening to this is tied to the real estate industry in some capacity, and in my opinion, like, you dominate when it comes to social media, when it comes to Facebook, and that realm. I don't know if there's a more brilliant mind in this industry than you, man. So always love having you on, always learn a ton from you, man.
I appreciate that so much. It means a ton coming from you.
Yeah. So, and we'll have a link below to your first podcast, where, if somebody isn't familiar with who you are, all of that stuff, where they can see your journey and how you got started in social media and stuff. But let's just jump into it, man. When you look at let's first go into, because I think this will segue into, I was going to start by, just seeing with the changes of social media and kind of going into what's working now today. But man, I know that you created a new software that really helps agents level up their game when it comes to social media marketing. So let's start with that, man. Like what is it, and why did you create it? What does it do? And then we can get into kind of overall strategy and so forth.
Absolutely. I thank you, first of all, again, for having me and let me talk about this. So Witly is the name of our software. And what we just released is our new automated advertising technology. And first and foremost, there's a lot of agents out there that are using Facebook ads, or trying to use Facebook ads and Instagram and other types of things. And you go to implement something and you can't even get past the ads manager. It's a complex system and it can be a struggle. And if especially for those that may go back and listen to the first podcast I did with you, a lot of what we talked about was lead generation. And as social media has changed and the industry's evolved and more attention's come to the platform and more people are spending money, especially in the real estate industry, on things like Facebook ads, we saw this big shift kind of take place where it really wasn't just enough anymore to generate leads from Facebook. And that's kind of proven with PPC. It's proven with Zillow leads, realtor.com, Homes List, Facebook groups, wherever it is that you get your information. It's become a little bit more difficult for somebody just to pick up the phone, call, and convert a lead. It happens all the time. As a matter of fact, it happens 1% to 3% in most agents, right? It happens religiously, but it's getting harder and harder and harder. And so as the process evolved, we realized that if we could start using something powerful called remarketing, which is essentially where a lead comes in and now there's ads that are following that lead all over the internet until they do business with you. If we could start to leverage the power of remarketing, years ago, we started implementing those strategies. What we would do is we would take a little bitty video, 30 seconds to 90 seconds to 3 minutes, whatever, that the agent would create, and we would set that up in an ad. So lead comes in. Now, all of a sudden, the second that lead goes back to Facebook, they're seeing videos of the agent, educational content, personality content, whatever that might look like. This totally transformed the way that our clients were able to convert leads. And we started using it with custom audiences from essentially your database, your CRM, open houses, PPC leads. What we noticed is that no matter where the lead came from, if we were able to start following those leads all over the internet with relationship-based content, we were able to see these massive increases, 100, 200, 300% increases in the way that our clients were able to convert without calling the leads, texting the leads, emailing the leads. I'm not saying you shouldn't do those things, but for agents, if you're listening to this and you're getting a ton of leads in your business, but your conversion is less than 1%, if you can solve that problem by 0.5%, by 1%, you can, that means tens of thousands of dollars more in commission in your business. And it comes back to execution. It's hard to set up lead generation campaigns. It's hard to set up video campaigns. We have all this training. We have a library of 300 videos that we created that walk people through the process step by step. Proven copy, proven pictures, proven targeting, proven budget strategies. Everything's copy and paste. But there was still this issue where people would struggle through the training or struggle because of the technology, or they wouldn't click the special housing category button with Facebook's ever-changing landscape, and their ads wouldn't get approved. They wouldn't understand why. And we just got sick of it. And I think our clients got sick of it too. And so we developed the automated advertising technology that now exists within Witly, where all of our best campaigns, our best ad strategies, they're pre-built. You just log into the platform, you enter a couple pieces of information, and then boom, our software goes and builds all the ads for you, manages all the ads for you. So if you're wanting to generate leads, you set up a campaign and then boom, now you got leads coming in. But where I think it's the most powerful is within that dynamic video remarketing realm. I believe that that is the secret weapon to converting more sales, to converting more customers. Whether you use Facebook, you use Instagram, you use Google, you use YouTube, you use your website, you use open houses, no matter what lead source, what platform you're using to bring those opportunities to you, if we can automatically start feeding video content, which is what our software does, if we can start automatically building a relationship with those leads the second they come in, and we can increase the chance that we have to convert those leads by 200 or 300%, we can transform people's lives without having to work so hard to make some of those things a reality. So that's why we did it. It's why we we've been working on this project now for 3.5 years. It's why we did all this work, invested all this money, and put all these blood, sweat, and tears into building it. And now that it's here, it's so transformative, because it's so easy for an agent to start standing out in their market without all the pitfalls of technology challenges, lack of marketing, lack of a marketing understanding, don't know what videos to create, don't know what copy to write, Facebook's policies changing nonstop. That's a long-winded answer about why we did it and kind of what it does. And I'd love to just continue to flesh that out so people understand a little more.
Yeah, no, that's awesome, dude. Yeah. And you're so right, man. It's, Man, when I first started with Facebook ads, let's just say 5-6 years ago, man, it was so easy back then, right? And wasn't near as saturated. Now, I get the question all the time of, is Facebook still effective today because it's so saturated? And my response always that is, it's more effective than it's ever been, but it's more important to know what the hell you're doing more so today than ever before, because cost per leads are way up, and everybody just so saturated with ads and so forth. And it's like, look, man, if you're not a geek like me, right, that enjoys that kind of stuff, that will, binge for, 14 hours in a week and learning about it. And look, most real estate agents, man, like, that's not the best use of their time. Their best use of their time is going on appointments, converting appointments, negotiating contracts, and doing money-making activities. Man, it is a complicated thing to understand, to learn, to stay on top of. And I can't agree more with the remarketing, dude. It's been huge. We started doing now manually doing this, which I'm so excited for your software to come out. That way I can just plug it in, not have to fucking worry about the, 30 hours a week that I've got to invest my time into this. But like with just Facebook alone, we were at like just above a 1% conversion ratio, 1 out of 100, which for Facebook is pretty damn good, but now we're down to 1 out of 42. Right. It's like a 2.3% conversion ratio with that remarketing. And the, like, for people to understand what, like, 1% may not sound like a lot, but that's the difference between converting 1 out of 100 versus 1 out of 50. Yes. And what I think that people don't understand is, not only is it less because of the cost per lead, so your cost per acquisition is better, but the time saving is tremendous. It's half the amount of leads they got to follow up with. And then the conversations become better, right? Because it's not now, who are you and why are you calling me? It's oh yeah, I see your stuff everywhere, right? And the other thing I want to stress to real estate agents, and I always say this, of just imagine, and we just have to go into this with this mindset and assume that when you get a lead, there are at least 12 other agents in your local market's database that are also hounding them and pounding them. So what are you doing to stand out and differentiate and so forth? And so with that, man, can you kind of break down like what the process kind of looks like how, what is it? Are you warming them up before you start generating the lead? And then once the lead comes in and you're remarketing, what do what can you go a little bit more in depth of what those funnels look like?
1,000%. So we've always taught this kind of 3-level approach to generating new clients. And I'm a huge proponent of client generation, not lead generation. We want to predictably generate new customers in somebody's business. And so we've always called level 1 lead generation. That's where you're generating cold leads from Facebook or other platforms into your database, into your CRM, or however you currently nurture those prospects. You get emails going, you get texts going, you get calls going, but ultimately that's a cold lead. And then we move them to what we call level 2, which is essentially where the brand building starts to occur. I believe that a brand is the relationship you have with the marketplace. And this is number one, why most people don't convert a lot of leads, because they have nothing in place. They don't even have calls, texts, emails. They call or text once and then the lead didn't respond, so they kind of moved on. If we can start to build a relationship with a prospect, automatically we create leverage in the conversion process. And you're right, 1% increase in conversion doesn't sound very sexy, but you said you went from 1% to 2.4, 2.5%. But put it in perspective, that's 150% increase in how much business you are converting from that one specific platform. So if we put out a lead gen campaign, so in our system, they have what we call a homes list ad, just as an example. It's where you put out a campaign where people can give their name, email, phone number, and get a list of homes that are available on the marketplace. It's similar to a Zillow model or something like that. You're just giving out information. Well, as soon as that lead comes in, typically you want to call, text, email. Those are things that you want to happen, and there's automations that can do those things for you. What most people aren't doing is getting in front of those people. It's really hard. You get a brand new lead to literally just boom, snap right in front of them physically. It's actually impossible, right? What video marketing allows us to do is immediately, dynamic video remarketing allows us to immediately appear right in front of those people on your phone or on the computer. Imagine and you guys experience this all the time. You go to Amazon to buy a product, you decide not to. Dynamically, that product is now showing up in your Facebook newsfeed. They're encouraging you to come back and buy. It's the same thing except for real estate. It's the same thing except for it's a relationship. As soon as a lead comes into the network, into your system, boom, now you're showing up on that person's Facebook newsfeed, their Instagram newsfeed, and they get to start connecting with you. 72% of buyers and sellers choose the first agent, listen to this, that they talk to. It's not even meet, it's that they talk to. And now, if every lead is shared with 12 people, you are fighting relentlessly to try to have a conversation with those people. My phone has gone off literally 6 times since you and I started this podcast. And I'm not going to call any of those people back. I've got no clue who they are. All right. I'm not going to engage this way anymore. And we have client after client after client that started seeing that. Nobody's answering the phone. Nobody's responding to the text. I don't know what to do. Video remarketing allows us to instantly start appearing in front of those people on social media. And that allows the connection to happen. That allows the relationship to begin, blossoming, whether you're creating content about who you are and why you sell real estate, you're creating educational content about the process of buying a home or selling a home, you're interviewing a lender, you're talking to an insurance agent, you're creating content about weatherproofing your home. We're coming into winter, we're going to kind of head that direction. How do you winterize your home? It's a little bit of things like that. You get to really just kind of express your authority in the market, if that makes any sense. You get to showcase the different levels of your personality. You get to introduce yourself immediately, instantaneously to your prospects, and they get to start developing that relationship with you. So when you see 150% increase in your conversion rate, like Josh, you've experienced, and like a lot of clients that I work with have experienced, it's happening because the prospect now, on their own time, in their own way, is able to start building a relationship with you and connecting with you. And that's the increase in conversion, where the increase in conversion comes from. So we had a client in Georgia, and he was calling, texting, emailing. He basically stopped. He let the automations, whatever CRM platform he uses, take over. People started calling and texting and emailing him because they started seeing his video content everywhere. And we could probably record a whole separate podcast about why video marketing is so powerful. You just spoke at one of our events about how video marketing can really change the game and allow an agent to create a ton of leverage for brand building and increasing sales. But when it comes to generating leads and building a relationship with your prospects, that's how it works. That's how our system works. So instead of, let's say you upload a video, traditionally you would upload a video to Facebook or Instagram and people would go and they would watch it. Well, now somebody can upload a video right to Witly, select the audience that they want to see it, whether it's their Facebook leads, their website leads, their CRM leads, their past clients, set their daily budget, and then boom, Witly goes and builds out all of the advertisements for them, and then it manages it. So based on, however you're managing your contacts in your database is how Witly is managing your ads. If you're trying to convert new leads, those leads are going to see some of the videos you uploaded to Witly to convert them. If you're trying to generate more referrals from your past clients, well, your past clients are going to continue to see you. You're going to be able to stay top of mind and generate more referrals because you're marketing relationship-based content you would put out on Facebook or Instagram on the daily anyway. You're able to showcase and make sure that your past clients are seeing that stuff from you every day. So you don't lose those referrals that are coming. Every house sold is worth at least 2 or 3 more sales. You don't lose out on some of that business that's going to come your way simply because you don't have an effective strategy in place that allows you to effortlessly follow up, whether it's new leads or past clients.
Love it, man. So then when it comes to Witly with this new feature, like you don't have to even log in your ads manager anymore. It's just Witly just kind of communicates and speaks. It's like Witly, the way it seems like in my head and how my head works is like, it's kind of like having your own Facebook assistant in your own real estate office that's just running all this for you. I mean, of course, yeah, like even if I have somebody run Facebook ads, yeah, I still got to create the videos, and name my face. Like I can't expect you, Grant, to create, have your video showing up for my branding, right? But outside of that content, once that's created, bam, you just put it in the system and the system is just feeding it.
The system goes and builds the ads for you. So you can literally watch as you're building it out in Witly, you hit submit, And then you could, if you wanted to, you could go log into your Facebook ads manager and you would see everything that you just built snapped in an instant was built and it's being approved by Facebook. So yes, it is exactly like having your own little Facebook assistant that's just in there doing those things for you. And I think a lot of agents struggle with expensive marketing agencies charging, $1,000 a month, $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month or more. Well, in an industry where your business is cyclical, you don't make money for 90 days, based on the work you do today, it can be really difficult to cash flow some of those more expensive marketing agencies until you actually have the money to recoup the ROI. And so it's exactly like that. One of our kind of selling points, I guess, is that you are able to get rid of that high overhead from a marketing agency standpoint because the software is doing that work for you.
Yep. Are you guys going to expand it outside of the real estate industry? I'm sitting there thinking, I got my real estate team. I know that I'm going to tap into this, but then I'm like, I got like 3 other businesses, dude, that this would sound perfect for too.
So you're definitely not the first to ask, like, hey, when are you going to go outside of real estate? So our platform actually allows you to build your own ads too. So if you want to build ads, you just don't want to go to the ads manager, you can actually build those ads out in Witly. And it's a far more simplistic platform to use because you can build an entire ad. In the Facebook ads manager, there's many steps. I think it's 10, 15, 20 steps you have to go through to get everything set. We reduced that down to, I think it's roughly 5 steps where you just select your objective, you upload your content, you select your audience, you write your copy, and it's far simpler to do versus going into the Facebook ad manager. So my focus will remain in the real estate space for sure, as far as agents and loan officers and investors and title reps. But there are many people that have asked us to start expanding that focus to more industries. And we're excited as more people are coming into the platform. We're seeing that they are testing, doing some of their own things for sure.
Yeah. And the one thing I think is important for, whether one of our listeners or somebody that's listening to this is going to go with like your software or choose to try to figure this stuff out on their own. I think that, when you're talking about all this retargeting, it can sound expensive.
Yes.
But it's not, man, because it's the lead gen ad, let's just say, that's the costly part. Then after that, if you're running reach ads or brand awareness ads or, video view ads, I mean, like I'm running a video view ad right now that it's 1 cent a 15, second through play, right? I mean, it is, you can't get cheaper than that. Like the retargeting, because they're already a lead in your system, that it's so inexpensive to go out there and run.
1,000%. You got to remember that Facebook is only going to market to people you tell it to. So you're providing the information. If you have a database of 100 people, well, you're not marketing to a ton of people, right? You're only marketing to 100 people. So Facebook, literally, if you tried to spend $100,000 to market to 100 people, Facebook wouldn't allow it to happen because its system is not designed that way. It would only let you spend a couple of dollars to market to those people once, twice, 3 times. So as you are generating new leads, you're bringing new people into your database, we literally only advise our clients to spend $1 a day per video, $2 a day per video, because those videos are being targeted to an audience that is nominal compared to the billions of people that are actually on Facebook. So it's one of the least expensive things I've ever seen. It's one of the least expensive ways I've ever seen to be able to market your brand to people that are interested in real estate, that have raised their hand and said, hey, Josh, I want more information on real estate or buying or selling. You're only intentionally spending your money targeted to people that have an interest in working with you. And that's another thing that's really powerful. So for less than $100 a month in ad spend, you're able to be in front of people that are thinking about doing business with you every time they go to the internet. And I just don't know that there's anything more powerful than that.
Yeah. It's, it's so important for everybody that's watching and listening to this, man. Like you gotta know what you're doing, man. You gotta, whether you're going to jump into, amazing piece of software like Witly that makes our lives easier, or again, run this stuff on your own, like I've been doing until, once Witly comes out, we'll be one of the first customers to jump in there. But you gotta know what you're doing, man. It can be massively successful if you know what you're doing and you're intentional with it. one question I have, because it's, and I don't want to say this for just realtors. I think it's just human beings. And Napoleon Hill talks about this in Think and Grow Rich, of the, stopping 3 feet short of gold, right? And a lot of times, man, we're all just kind of preconditioned anymore to be extremely impatient, right? 2 clicks, you got something at your house in 24 hours from Amazon. And like, you got to give things enough time to be able to see the conversion ratios increase. And I know that you've been doing this for so long with thousands of agents as clients. How long does it take when you start doing these retargeting, remarketing, campaigns and so forth, before people can start seeing that increased conversions, just so people go into it with the right expectation or giving things enough time?
Yeah, that's a great question. Real estate is cyclical, right? It's the work we do today that gets us paid in 90 days. And so even if you had the best video in the world and the best system in the world, and you got a new client today, you're not going to make money from that person for 60 to 90 days. One of the things that we constantly tell people is that when you're building a brand, it takes time. You're building a relationship with somebody. It's not something that happens overnight. What we have seen is that you'll notice an increase in engagement almost immediately, because people will start commenting and liking and sharing and interacting with you. But it could take you 2, 3, 4 months before you start seeing that turn into commission checks, right? Conversions, because it's the very nature of the industry that we are in. We like to give people, general rule of thumb is that we want you to convert 3 to 5% of the leads that you generate. If you come into our system and you got 20,000 people sitting in your database, we should start to wake people up immediately that are interested in real estate, that are thinking about doing business with you, maybe haven't heard from you in a while, because that content should start instantly feeding out to those people. If you come into our platform, you have absolutely no leads whatsoever, and you even need help generating some, well, our system will immediately help you start generating leads. Within 24 hours, you could have new opportunities come into the business. But it takes time to build relationships, and you need to give that dynamic video remarketing time to work. We've seen people come into our system, Josh, and literally day one, they're out there showing houses. And I don't know if that's the luck of the draw. Most people would call it that. We've seen people come into our system back when they were doing some of the training, and it could take 6 months before they would have a real serious person that was ready to go. And I don't necessarily understand what the differences are there. The only thing I've ever been able to equate it to is that somebody has a better ability to convert leads over somebody else. And that's because of the tenacity, whether it's calling, texting, emailing, whether it's remarketing. We've just seen with this new tool, with these new benefits of the automated ad platform and dynamic video remarketing, that the faster we can start building that relationship, the faster we start seeing the results. So I would say that, to directly answer your question, if you will notice a increase in your engagement immediately, people will start interacting and you'll be able to start having more conversations. A lot of that stuff is going to pick up pretty quickly. The speed that you'll be able to cash a check from this, it could take a month, it could take 2, it could take 3, it could take 6. Our goal when we work with anybody is to get you to $1 million in sales in less than 90 days. That's roughly $30,000 in income we want to personally help generate for your business in less than 90 days. You do that in our company, you become a millionaire, right? You unlock some status in the company. We got awards for you. You want to make this an incredible experience for you. That's our goal working with anybody. It has been for a long time. And we've got a track record of being really successful at doing that, because I don't care about helping you get more leads. I don't care that more people watch your video content. I care that you make money. And that's the only thing that really, in the real estate space, I think it's a lot of what they care about too. And so our goal, within that first 90 days is to help somebody make at least $1 million. That doesn't sound like a ton to some people. And that sounds like the world to a lot of people. We got to get these things going. We got to get these ads working, these videos working. And once we do that, we're able to figure out what that kind of cost per conversion is, cost per commission check. And when we start to build that kind of predictable system, it's, scaling off to the races. That's what that whole first 90 days is about for us, is getting things built, getting things working, seeing if we can get a few transactions under the belt to figure out what the cost per conversion is going to be. And then we can work with each agent or team lead or whoever to start scaling those things.
Yeah, love it, dude. Yeah, and I'm a big believer, man, that, of course, not everybody has to, right? There's a lot of ways to create success in this industry. But I truly believe, I don't know why anybody wouldn't be doing social media marketing, regardless of your lead source, right? Like, I think so many people think that to do these types of ads, like it's, oh, well, I got to then, generate a bunch of Facebook leads, right? No, dude, if it's open houses, if it's expireds, if it's, you're geo farming and you're scraping those people's content from, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, if it's a networking group, as you said, past clients, being able to remarket for so inexpensively and stay front of mind will increase any lead generation conversion ratio, right? When I say conversion ratio, I'm talking from lead to client, regardless of what lead source that you're doing, man. It's so important for it. And I just wanted to state that. So, cause I think there is a confusion. It's like, I'll get agents that their mind, when they hear geographical farming, they just immediately think of direct mail. No, geographical farming means you're just going to go out there and come up with some type of marketing strategy, prospecting, marketing, whatever, to dominate this, get market share in this geographical area. It's not direct mail. It can be. That's one of many, right? And I just wanted to stress that, because I think a lot of people, when they think of, the things that we're talking about is just meaning that, oh, well, now I got to go out there and generate a bunch of Facebook leads. No, it can be any lead source, man, that you can retarget and remarket.
Any lead source. And I think it's so important. No matter where, just imagine somebody walks into your open house, they check in, now they're in your system, they go get in their car and they're seeing your Facebook ads. Come on, like there's no more power than being able to connect with people in that way. It doesn't matter what your lead source is. You definitely don't need to go generate leads from Facebook ads if you don't want to. If you can start showing up in front of people, and every agent I've ever met has said, if I can just get in front of the leads, I know I can convert them. It's just getting harder to get in front of the leads. Guess what? Video remarketing puts you instantly and instantaneously right in front of the people that you're trying to convert, or you're trying to get more referrals from, or whatever it is that you're trying to recruit. And if you can do that, and you can do it consistently, you'll start to develop a relationship with those people, and you'll become a part of those people's lives. You guys all have people that you follow and that you're connected with and that you engage with every day. This is no different than that. It allows you to build a relationship with people just like that on autopilot. And it's super powerful. Definitely the leads don't need to come from Facebook.
Yeah, man. It's like, maybe you're super involved with your church, man, right? Like if you can get a list of everybody that's inside your church, right? Like boom, you can upload it and start, retarget in a non-salesy way to stay front of mind, man. It's extremely powerful. Love it, dude. So when it comes to this, and I believe that you're going to provide us with a link that we'll be able to have below for everybody to go check this out, to learn more about it. But we have a lot of people that are driving down the road, right, listening to this on iTunes or Stitcher or Spotify or whatever. They just go to witly.com, man, to learn more about it and check out this new platform.
It's actually, we will have a special link. It's witly.net, WITLY.net. And there, I'm going to give you a special link. So if you guys use that, you get some special stuff by using Josh's link. But yes, that would be the best place to go check it out. Get a demo, see how it works. We took some massive complexities and we made them really simple. And hopefully that's the impression you get when you get to the website. But you could see how it works. You could see some of the results other people are getting from it right now, and you can jump in and try it out for free.
Yeah, and correct me if I'm wrong, man, but you guys are integrating with pretty much every big CRM out there, right? So it isn't one of those things where I got to constantly dump leads into the system and export it. Like it can speak to some of these other systems. So like in my CRM, if this set of leads has this specific tag,
right?
Right, I can sync those where then Witly knows, hey, anything with this tag, bam, hit them with this, right? Maybe they now become a past client. I hit them with that tag. Witly knows and to pull them automatically into that audience. So I'm not having to really work out of two systems. I know I had to set up the ads in Witly, but
that's the goal. Yeah, we want to be integrated with all of the CRMs in the industry. And, currently we're integrated with a few, and we're just working to add more to our list every single month. And kind of think of it like contact mirroring, right? So if you have a contact in your platform, we want that exact piece of data to be mirrored in Witly. So if you have them on a list or you have them tagged, that same information is coming right over into the Witly platform. So it knows how to manage your ads for you. And so literally based on how you're managing your contacts is how your ads are going to be managed. And there's no better way, in my opinion, to create an insane customer experience with that level of deep integration and technology and those types of things that are working for you. So that is exactly how we want it to work. Again, think of it like contact mirroring. Whatever is happening in your CRM is exactly what data we want to be happening over in Witly. And that's how that's how the client will continually work to have that incredible experience. Because if you got new leads and they go to your past client list, well, Witly communicates that to Facebook, and the videos change, the experience changes. You're no longer trying to convert them, you're trying to get referrals, and our system will help you automatically set those things up.
Cool, man. Yep, love it. So on a different topic, dude, you just wrapped up this, or at least as the time that we're recording this. This is making me watching this years down the line from now. Yep. But man, you just wrapped up this amazing video summit.
Yes.
With really, all of the top video influencers in the real estate industry, man. And I'm just curious, man, like what were some of your biggest takeaways? Because you were able to spend hours, right, getting top tips and learning from, the biggest video influencers in our space. Like what were some of your biggest takeaways that you took away from that?
Man, that's a good question. Because there's been I got to sit in. So we interviewed every speaker for roughly 90 minutes. And we asked some very loaded questions that I wanted the answers to for myself, and that I knew that the clients that the clients that we have would want, people that attended the summit. And I'm going to be really honest. One of the biggest takeaways for me was that we should think bigger. Like no matter how we're thinking right now, there's always somebody ahead of us. There's always going to be somebody behind us. Like if we could just think bigger, we're going to get to a bigger place, whether that's having more money or more impact or more influence or being able to help more people, whatever that is for you. The more that you can use video as a medium for going out there and communicating your message to your market, whatever that is, whether it's the small town, like, we're in Northwest Arkansas, or it's having a global impact. Video is the number one tool that's going to take you there. However big you're wanting to go, however small you're wanting to be, video can help you have that impact. And the second biggest takeaway for me was that it can do it in a way that allows you to create ultimate form of leverage in your life. Because you can go out and have a ton of one-to-one conversations like you and I are having right now, but video allows you to have that one-to-many conversation. And every speaker said the same thing. I was successful before video, but video allowed me to create this form of leverage in my life that really kind of opened up and allowed me to live the lifestyle I've always wanted to live, because I could use video to build relationships with people. I could use video to create systems and processes to scale up my operations, my business. I could train my team. I could train my staff. I can use video to do all these different things so that I do the thing that I'm trying to do one time. I communicate the message I'm trying to communicate one time. And now all of a sudden, people on my team can watch it. People all over the world can watch it. And it allows you to create this ultimate form of leverage. And that's why I think that, I've had so much fun creating some of the products that we're creating and helping people do some of the things that we're able to do, because conversion is one of the number one problem in the real estate space from a lead generation standpoint. Anybody can get leads, like legitimately anybody, but converting those, you see that even the top performers in most markets are converting 2 to 5% of the leads that they generate. So if we can help people create leverage in that process, we can really transform some people's lives and allow them to truly live the lifestyle they want to live. Our core mission here is to help people create freedom to be able to do whatever they want to do, because they have the freedom of time and they have the freedom of money. And video has really given us that ability. And it's challenged me. I got challenged by you. I got challenged by Tom Ferry. I got challenged by all these incredible video people, video influencers, to really kind of in an unspoken way, think bigger, because no matter where you're at now, you could be wherever it is that you want to be. And video is a tool that could take you there, and it can do it in a leveraged way, so you actually have the time to enjoy it. and those are some of my most profound takeaways. That event was, like most events, it was so fun to put together, but we did it in such a unique way, trying to create these mini documentaries, and it was really entertaining and engaging, and I'm glad we got the chance to do it. But I appreciate you asking the question, because it always gives me a chance to look back on, man, what were some good things, and those were some great takeaways.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Is that something I know it's done in past? But is that something that people can still go like check out the recordings? Is it something
Yeah,
that's
you can actually go buy the recordings, because what we did is we made all the recordings available. So they're 30-minute little documentaries that we put together. They're really entertaining. They're not like a Zoom or something like that, where, not that this isn't entertaining, right? Recording the podcast on Zoom, but they're really entertaining and really engaging. So you can go watch the 30-minute documentaries. And what we also did is we made the raw interviews available. We edited them up just a little bit so that it's just the question and just the answer, and not some of the back and forth conversations we were having in the interviews. But we made the 90-minute interviews available too, so you can watch the whole interview. It's kind of like watching the unedited version of a new movie or something like that, right? And then we prepared action notes, or action steps, takeaways. We put a ton of notes in each of those 15 interviews. Technically 14 interviews, because mine was the special announcement to release the new automated ad tool. But we've definitely made those available. If you go to our site, if you go to witly.net, even, you should see a training tab. It'll take you to our website where you could go and you could check out those videos if you wanted to go back and buy the recordings. There is so much good content. I mean, it is incredible. Brand building, how to increase your sales, how to scale your operations. If you're wanting the answers to those 3 questions, that summit definitely did its job for sure. So yes, if you wanted to.
Yeah, hell yeah, badass, man. And again, those that are watching, listening, as always, if you just scroll, I don't care where you're watching, where you're listening, we'll have links to everything that we talked about, whether you're looking at Witly's new Facebook retargeting platform, or whether you're looking at the video summit recordings and so forth. But Grant, man, if people that are watching, listening to this, man, if they want to continue following you, which I recommend all of you guys do, because again, I mean, I meet a lot of people in this industry, and met a lot of people in this industry, and you guys, as I mentioned in the intro to this, Grant, in my opinion, is kind of the leading authority for digital marketing and the stuff that he does, man. He's obsessed with it. He gets to work with thousands of agents and knows what works, what doesn't work, and continue to learn so much from him. And there's a lot of I know you put out a ton of free content, all of that stuff as well. So like where people are watching, listen to this, man, how can they? I think you got your own podcast as well, right? That I don't know if you're still doing that. I know I've been on it with you before, but where's the best place, man, for people to follow you, to learn more about you, to continue following you on this journey and so forth?
Yeah, the step one, go to witly.net and you can connect with me there for sure, because we've linked up all of our social channels and everything like that, and that takes you right to me. The number one place, you go to witly.net first, and then follow me on Instagram @LikeGrantWise. If you send me a DM, screenshot this podcast, share it, tag me, whatever you want to do. I don't always answer everything else as far as social platforms go, but I answer every single one of my Instagram DMs. It's really me talking, me interacting on that platform. Screenshot this, send it to me, tag me in your stories, tag us both. Whatever you want to do, if you head over to Instagram, that's the number one place to connect with me. I'm always trying to put out as much content as I possibly can, whether it's about lifestyle or consulting, or now we're giving away so much of our Facebook content for free, especially with the new platform. Whatever it is, if you go to follow me on Instagram @LikeGrantWise, it's the number one way to connect with me personally.
Awesome. Well, Grant, man, I truly appreciate you taking time to be here, share, taking time out of your busy day to be here with us, man. And, on a personal note, dude, I appreciate your friendship, man. And truly means a lot that you're here with us today, dude.
Absolutely, man. Thank you. It's definitely an honor. I appreciate you as well, man.
Yeah, 100%, my friend. And those watching and listening, as always, we truly appreciate you, all of your support. Keep up the amazing work. Keep kicking ass, and we'll see you next time. Peace. I hope you enjoyed this GSD Mode podcast episode. Now make sure you get shit done and smash that subscribe button now.